Take one, scene one, class consciousness with special guest Enomis. I'm the special guest today, y'all. I've been doing a lot this year, last year, shit, past decade, to be honest. I know I've been having special guests. We've been talking about a little bit about what they've been having going on. I have a few actual announcements that are exciting. Um, I'll be going to a New York Fashion Week show and walking the runway for New York time. And I'm pretty excited for that. I will be having some virtual tickets for the event coming up. I have to sell at least 10, so let me know if y'all want some of those or if y'all gonna be in New York for New York Fashion Week as well. I will be outside for it. I'm gonna probably go for a week or so. So that's great, exciting news. And then the other thing I want to highlight, back in March, I think like towards the end of March, I was also published in a model publication that officially made me an international model called um, Desire, which is super exciting. They pushed it out in Greece, which I'm super like still stoked about. It still shakes me to the core because I'm like, I never would have expected that. I got to work with Christopher and his photography as well. He did publications with Vogue and other very known magazines as well. So he was my photographer for that, and I'm so grateful for that. Um, Other than that, y'all know I'm an activist at home. That was like definitely my upbringing, and that's what started like my publication career. Honestly, ooh, this boiled down to like even when I was a young kid. Like I'm an adult now, which is insane. I can't believe I'm 24. Like this is just well about to be, and this is just like crazy because I just remember like being 14 and a lot of times like when I look through my pictures or galleries and stuff, it's a lot of like euphoria. And I just reminisce like my upbringing sometimes because I just honestly don't know how I get to where I am now sometimes. Like I'm still in shock. Um so yeah, I hope y'all love the baby picture I'm gonna show y'all in there as well. That's just a little like photo gallery of my grandma stand. She has pictured of family all over her stand. And I think that's kind of where like it all started, honestly, like first personality wise, but also the love of just having capturing moments, right? I have a stand now in my own place because of that, of my own experiences and travel and friends and family, and I just put it on my back wall. And it's like my little safe space. So like whenever I want to vibe out or listen to Luffy or do some work, I just sit on my little couch in my room, and then I have my pictures of, I guess, comfort or like um memories that I really am fond of. And it really started with my grandma. In that picture, like you'll see my crown upside down, which is kind of funny. Um, I purposely did that. Like I remember it was picture day, and I don't know how old I was. I was maybe 5 or 6, right? And I was always like a diva, really, honestly. And everybody was like, "Your crown is upside down. Your crown is upside down. Flip it over." And I was like, "No, I want to be different." And I feel like that kind of lived with me the rest of my life because a lot of times, like people always want to do same copy paste bullshit. Like I don't want to be the same as everybody else. I want to do what makes me feel happy and what makes me feel unique, and what makes me feel good. I also just I don't know, I love like jewels, and I think my inspiration came from that is like ancient G ooh, English. Actually, well pause. Ancient Egypt is what I meant to say, right? I'm a little nervous, y'all. Another thing y'all will learn. I used to have a speech impediment actually growing up. So like I used to be super, super shy. Sometimes it'll still come out like that mixed with dyslexia is hard as fuck, especially when you're in like communication or media industry like I am now apparently. It's so crazy to think about. Like when I was in middle school, if I were to tell my younger self I would be in the positions and have the opportunities that I have now, I would be like, "You're lying." Like, um, but nonetheless, I feel like that's what kind of humbled me growing up. Just understanding like everybody has their own struggles or difficulties of like just blossoming and evolving as an individual. That was me, honestly. Like, I wouldn't say it was like specialty classes or nothing, but they definitely try to put me like in EP class or speech class. If y'all know what that is, y'all know what it is for real. But I grew out of that like sixth grade, and then I tested out because, for one, my scores like in school testing wise, I was always very very intelligent, and I had this one middle school teacher. Her name was Miss Clausen. I love her so dearly. Even still to this day, I wouldn't. I give her so much credit for just helping me blossom in my confidence and helping me blossom in my learning curves as well, because she was like the first teacher that pulled me to the side and she was like, "Girl, like you're very smart. You're smarter than half these people in this class. Like, why are you in this class?" And I was like, "I don't know, they put me here." Like and then like it shifted the way I thought about education. Cause she would go beyond like even outside of classes. Like I used to take summer school classes with her and she used to be like, yo, you don't have to deal with this. Like if you work through making goals and she used to like give me quizzes during the summertime and stuff to like actually help me be more comfortable with my own voice and like understanding how to cope with my speech impediment, and then also like just having that self-confidence, like fuck what anybody else think, right? And yeah, that changed my life honestly. So then from middle school, I went to high school. I'm an arts baby. Then I started expressing my feelings and emotion, and I guess just exploring really life through art. I was a visual art major all of high school, and that definitely changed. Like, I guess seeing opportunities within my community, right? Because a lot of times, like being on the north side of Milwaukee, we don't have too many positive things going on. At least when I was growing up as a child, like I didn't see them at least, but I knew they were around. But a lot of like opportunities for traveling, a lot of leadership opportunities came from the artistic aspect. And then I took the visual art major. And during that process in high school, like I took photography classes, I took a little bit of animation classes. I even took a Mayette course over 2 summers, and I did my own like screen printing and stuff. And during that time, like I was learning a lot of history of Milwaukee origins and civil rights movements, and just expressing that through like even my t-shirt sales. Like I used to sell t-shirts of Malcolm X, of myself, local leaders. It was so much fun, but I feel like that kind of connected me to the community as well, and it opened up like my entrepreneurship skills. Besides like being in Girl Scouts, yeah, I sell Girl Scout cookies and stuff like that, but it was different, like understanding community wise and feeling like involved and fundraising for the community, and getting to go to DC based off of what I found in New York. With the art courses, I was in the National Honor Art Society for a bit, like 3 years while I was in high school. Like that in itself, and seeing that scene in New York is crazy work. Like I remember seeing the nightlight. I was there for about a week. Mind you, we fundraised, everybody fundraised and stuff, but I ain't pay for shit. Like that was the first time I felt like honestly free to explore outside of Milwaukee hometown, in a positive manner. Because I feel like a lot of times when people travel, like it's just for business or um they just there for family, but they don't actually get to go out in the scene and learn the history of the scene. And I feel like that inspired me a lot too. And yeah, so like honestly, like year after year, I always open up myself to new learning experiences, to new different cultures, to seeing different scenes, being open to different expressions, whether that's on myself. Y'all know I switch it up daily, so that's been a part of me now. But also just admiring like the simple things in life. I ain't gonna lie, I forget the artist, but it was this one artist, and this nigga had a painting, and it was one red dot sold for millions of dollars. And I was like, never. Like honestly, that just blew me. But it was just like the simplest things in life really do matter the most to me now, because it's like now that I'm so busy, I wear multiple hats. Like honestly, just chilling, being at home, doing self care is like the most exciting thing out of my life. And people be like, how is that the most exciting? You doing this and you going this and you met blah blah blah. And it's like a lot of people don't tend to look at like when you are in networking or when you are in different settings, it's a lot of stress. And I feel like some people go through like different anxieties and different things of that nature just because like they want to deliver, I guess, a certain presence, right? Or connect with certain people, and they worry about image and whatever. Um, it's natural. It's a natural thing to feel. I experienced it, like I said, even since middle school. So like after growing through that and then coming to high school, it really helped, like, I want to say shape who I became. Like from high school, I grew um a lot more self-confidence and just being able to feel comfortable exploring life outside of Milwaukee. And a lot of times like it was independent travel, or like I went with different group or organizations, just because I wanted to see like outside of Milwaukee, honestly. And I feel like those are like the moments I grew the most personally. um and I suggest everybody to travel, everybody to get in a club that's positive, doing a passion that you like or enjoy. It really does help development of like how you just see things in general. And also networking is really important. Like a lot of times I don't want to say like it's just cuz of people I know, but honestly, half the opportunities, half my career choices has been people I've met like randomly. I swear to God. Um, for example, like here, I started doing podcasts and bullshit you not. I met Mr. Richard in an Uber on my way home from like a job site. Like it's so crazy. And multiple other people like I just met randomly out. Which is just crazy to think. But again, simple things go a long way. Just saying hi to people, introducing yourself to people, just being genuine with people, doing and being around other people that have similar interests, whether that's poetry, whether that's art, whether that's activism. It's really good to be involved in something that you're passionate about and that you can meet other people within that field. And that's kind of what led me to doing activism work. Um, like it started in high school, honestly, too. So other than the National Honor Art Society, I also worked for a lot of voting events and stuff. I started off with the Women's My Vote. And then from there, I was with LIT, Leaders in Light and Transformation here in Milwaukee for a bit. In high school for like a year. Then I transitioned out. And then I started working for Voces de la Fronte, which is how I started doing campaigning work. I was a canvasser for Mandela Barnes. And then from there, like it just kept growing. I was with the CADC, and then I went and I did some work with the ACLU, the student group here in Milwaukee, but this was a few years ago. I'm not sure what they have currently, but um yeah, and that was really cool. Like, I got to be a part of so many different marches locally. I got to do door knocking. I got to be a canvasser. got to be a super de la frente, which means basically like a super canvasser in Spanish. With the Vosa de la Frente, and that built up my resume quite a bit. And I landed my first like really, really big girl government job or whatever when I started working for the Wisconsin Democratic Party of Wisconsin. And I don't know. It was just so much fun. I became a field organizer, so I got to go to a lot of different events. I got to promote local events to the community who were in the Democratic Party as well. And I got to just express like all of my work throughout the decades. Like um one of my biggest events was a sip and greet with Darren Madison. He's with he's a district alderman now. Um, and I've actually met him maybe a decade before this present year in 2024 at Urban Underground. So again, back in high school. So like that is just crazy to think about. Like people you grew up with and doing just activism work on a Friday night or doing voter work, you might see a decade later and it might help benefit you as far as networking wise. And it's just so crazy to think about. And then I also work with the 2020 census. That was interesting because I feel like that was like the first time, at least here in Milwaukee, that was like the first time I just was all over the city knocking on random stranger doors. Like, people's like, "You crazy? It's not safe." I mean, honestly, there's some truth in that. Like, if you don't know the city and you don't know how to carry yourself, I definitely wouldn't suggest that be like a career for you. But I know a lot of people in Milwaukee, and I tell people all the time, like, even on nice days, like, I go walking or I'll go ride my bike or whatever. Oop, sorry. I might go ride my bike or whatever. Like, I don't know, from I want to say like Silver Spring to Brown Deer or like even downtown area. I know a lot of people, so it's like I feel more comfortable and I feel more secure. But that don't mean be stupid, y'all. Okay, so don't be going around people's doors late at night and it's dark and they like, who are you? But during the daylight, I feel like a lot of times we lose. uh, Um, I don't want to say like humanity, but a lot of times we lose faith in humanity, and I would say here in Milwaukee, like the hospitality or just the environment of meeting new people is lacking in that department, honestly. Like when it comes to adults, I feel like a lot of times interactions with other people, if it's not in the work scene, um, I don't know, it's like taboo or something. I don't know. A lot of people aren't used to talking to other people here, and I don't know if that's like I don't know if it's because I'm used to talking to people because I was in Houston, Texas for a little bit. It's just a different culture. Um, but I will say, like, in that sense, it helped me a lot because I'm an introverted expert. Long story short, that mean like I like staying to myself, but I like networking. So like when it comes to business or something, I'll meet new people and I'll be casual, I'll say hi, what's up or whatever. But I'm genuinely like a very homey person. So it's like and I'm a bubbly person too. Once I get comfortable with somebody, I guess. But I am an introvert at heart because I need to recharge. Like I go out and kick it, whatever in Milwaukee scene. But afterwards I just need time to myself to just de-stress, relax, take time for myself. And I feel like a lot of people forget to do that. Like, definitely, don't matter what you do, if it's self care or just getting involved in the community, do something that you actually enjoy doing for yourself. Like, even without the money. And I feel like one thing my mama always told me, like, even in my family, like, don't, money is great. Money is always going to be there, for the most part. but you don't want to be chasing after money. You want to chase after a feeling that's going to make you feel like not just passionate, but something that's going to make you feel like you're fulfilled, like fulfillment. And I swear, after ever since then, like I just been doing that, and I've been feeling way, 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 way more like accomplished. I've been more happy. Like my stress levels has been down, and mind you, this coming from somebody who had high blood pressure at the age of 20. Like that's insane in itself, but it's the reality of a lot of people right now. And it's a lot of chaos in this world, and I feel like a lot of times we as people or like as youth, especially when we like the oldest or if we're the youngest or the only child, like I'm an only child, we feel like it's so much stuff we gotta prove to ourselves, stuff that we wanna do. And we tend to spread ourselves thin across a lot of aspects, whether that's like family, responsibilities, work, whatever it may be. Um, I feel like we need to work on that and just do stuff that we like to do and also try to make some money while doing it. Okay, honestly, that's real tea, real game right there. Ever since I've been doing that, I swear life's been great. um, but nonetheless, it's some things other than that I do want to let you guys know at home. I'm gonna have some random pictures pop up as well. So Bosa de la Fronte, again, that's like how I started getting into the marches and stuff. We did protest events. We had a few different media coverages. And I feel like honestly, even as a young person, like it made me feel more comfortable getting on camera and talking to people. One of my media coverages on the news was actually at the event, and they were talking about gun violence in Milwaukee and understand losing like different activists in the community and just honoring that space and honoring the fact that it's a lot of times it's things that happen and that's out of our control, but it's important to have that community piece to feel like you can connect with other people and make a positive change as well. That also led to me like getting in the 50s Miles Morris March. Which advocated against gun violence. We had a lot of school shootings in Wisconsin because of that. Well, actually, I said that backwards. Because we had a lot of school shootings in Wisconsin, we did do the march to like try to bring about awareness that it was hitting a lot of families hard here in Wisconsin, and just again that community piece, having a loved one being lost to gun violence is very, very traumatizing, and especially like when you feel like a lot of times people can't hear you or they don't understand how that feels on a person, especially as a young person. Like it was a lot. It was a lot. But we walked 50, well, honestly, it said 50 miles, but we really honestly had walked 53 miles because we turned to right instead of a left for like a few miles. And that was crazy. But we stopped throughout Wisconsin, different high schools, and we had the community come bring us like snacks and water along the trip. And oh my god, I remember I had blisters up my ass. I mean, not literally, but on my feet. On my feet, it was bad, bad. Like that was a lot of work. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't never walked that much a day in my life. And it was an experience, outer body experience for me because I didn't do it because of the physicality. Because I've always been chunky. Let's just be for real. And but I just knew like it was more important than my own like comfort at home, and understanding like advocacy is not just about talking about things but also actively being in the community, being involved, helping out when see fit or when you can, like even if you can't financially, physically volunteering or being a part of movements, it really does change the value, and I feel like the community itself. Um I met a lot of dope people throughout those years as well, and even throughout that week when we walked. It was a lot. It was a lot, y'all. I feel like that was like one of the biggest highlights in my life, though. Just advocacy in general, and that kind of, I guess it built me up to get more involved into activism work or advocacy work. Cause they go hand in hand. Like once you understand the terminology and understand like the importance of helping other people and advocating for yourself, it changes everything. And that's one thing I want to bring up too. Like even currently this year and a little bit last year, I've been doing active advocacy work. Um, I'm currently in an international fellowship called Community, which is just HIV prevention and awareness, education. Excuse me. I'll be showing y'all two like slides of our covers as well throughout the video. Y'all can look us up on Instagram if y'all want to get involved, if y'all want to help. And then prior to this year, I was working with Planned Parenthood. I did the what is it, 1,000 or I think it was maybe 100 Trojan condom collective. It was like condom collective, but um it was a campaign with Trojans or whatever. And I in college, when I was in college, I used to like pass out goodie bags of condoms and contraceptives and stuff of that nature. Just because it's like a lot of times, especially youth, okay, let's be for real, y'all don't be practicing safe sex like and I honestly, I feel like we need to have uncomfortable conversations like that, because that's part of being, that's for me, that's part of like healing the community and stopping a lot of harm as well, because a lot of times people don't even know what to do or who to go to or how to self-express, or how to take care of themselves body wise or partner wise, whatever the case may be. And then I was also doing teen pregnancy prevention with the Boys and Girls Club here in Milwaukee. I was at the 6th Street location as well. That was super like inspiring. Just understanding Boys and Girls Club, like people overlook them. They have so many connections, professional field wise, but also just like resource wise. Like I will say throughout my college years, like they was my backbone. Like if I needed to call somebody, my coaches was always there. Same thing with being a part of College Possible. They grew with me from high school to college and after college, because I did get my associate's degree communication major, and I also got a minor in cooperative education. And I plan on going back to school, y'all, in a few months, for assistant nursing as well, because I feel like honestly the end goal is probably gonna be like public health for me. Whether that's administrative or whether that's just doing what I do now as a community advocate. A lot of times we don't even get taught about these type of jobs in high school or college, and I've been a part of hundreds of college and career exploration events and research and just a whole bunch of stuff, y'all. Like I even one time I was applying for unemployment and stuff cuz I got laid off of work recently. Cuz Democratic Party, that's seasonal position or whatever. I was working for them like maybe 4 months or so. And then after the fact, they had gave us like a Lego package or something. I forget what it's called, but it started with a P. And basically during that time, like they help you transition. And during that time they give you like different workshops and stuff. I mean, it's a lot of paperwork. It was cool, but like I feel like somebody like as creative as me, it don't go for. Like that's for somebody who want an office job or if they want a day-to-day 9 to 5. I don't knock that, whatever floats your boat. But me, I'm a creative. I like having creative expression. I like being able to wear colorful things. I like being bubbly. I don't like being or feeling like I'm in a basement somewhere closed off and can't see light or nothing. um I don't know. I like being around people that I enjoy. I feel like energy is definitely important, and just having that time to yourself is important. And I know, honestly, like I like taking breaks. Another thing y'all gonna learn about me. I have ADHD, so my brain be everywhere. So if my brain is everywhere, I'm everywhere. Sorry. If my brain is everywhere, I'm everywhere, and I feel like it's a blessing and a curse because I can like multitask under pressure very well, compared to like my counterparts that are not neurodivergent. Um but at the same time it's very frustrating because like it's 50 different things I want to say and do, which I do career wise. I wear multiple hats, but it helps me as being an entrepreneur, but it doesn't help me not as much as like doing normal typical things, I guess, or like meeting deadlines. Bad at that, real bad. Let's just put it that way. But I made it through college. So hey, you gotta have coping mechanisms. But yeah, just understanding like how your personal like brain works far as like your hormone levels and stuff, that's a journey in itself. And I feel like a lot of people aren't vulnerable enough to just talk about what makes them them, honestly. And I feel like that's what makes it easy for me. I use that as like part of my strength. um because a lot of people, they feel like it's taboo, or they too shy, or they don't feel comfortable. Me, I'm an open book, y'all. So it's like you gonna get with the program or you not. It's love or hate at this point. Like it's no in between. But yeah, so I don't know. It'd be like I said, I'd be everywhere. Speaking of everywhere, I got to meet like a lot of new people. I said that before, but I do want to highlight like because of that, because of my public speaking skills and um just liking to talk, being bubbly, like moving around. Um I worked at the Wisconsin Bird Center for a little bit. I say like a year and a half. It was cool. And the I think it's the Panther Arena. I was up there too for a year and a half. I met so many like soccer players and different artists that came, and even like that helped, just having little simple conversations like, hey, talking to people with genuine curiosity, being helpful, being around people, being a good spirit. A lot of people see that. Like when you genuinely that way and like carry yourself like such, people just see that and they gravitate towards you, honestly, just because of your personality or because you're helpful. And during the process too, and like that and my activism work, I met people like Gwen Moore. I'll show you a picture of that too. And I got to go to like and even working with the Democratic Party, we hosted a lot of events locally with different people within the governmental official roles. And we got to go, or I got to go to like one of the top levels of Pfizer Forum and make sure, check on all the people. And they called us up on stage at the Pfizer Forum. So we got like first row to see Kamala Harris at the event when she gave her speech as well. It was really cool. It was heartwarming for me just to see a black woman, being able to talk on such a massive stage and give out her message. And I align with her politically too. I'm so sad, but it's okay. Eventually we gonna get there, America. um but yeah, so just getting to meet people honestly has changed my life in so many ways, more than one. And then so I talked a little bit about my upcoming oh, and speaking of meeting new people, right? So during the process of early adulthood, I think I was like 18, 19. Um as I was meeting people, networking, doing political work, and doing various things, whatever, um I got a position as well and domestic abuse for the board of Wisconsin, and that also helped like build me up. I guess like I don't want to say academically, but more so, but also that because like I went to so many different workshops and I learned so many different things, as far as like how people deal with trauma and how it can be like seen as warning flags. Understanding the difference between toxic and healthy behaviorals and relationships, understanding like also policy of how domestic violence is played out within the community in Wisconsin, um understanding the history of that, and then also the layer of culturally understanding how it impact different dynamics and groups in Milwaukee differently, and just understanding that and how to become an advocate and understanding about different sexualities and understanding a lot of just how to talk to people, how to meet people from all different cities all over Wisconsin. Even as a young person, I feel like that developed me so much. I was I was going there for Teen Summit every year for like 3 years, and then they actually brought me on board. They had asked me, was like, "Would you like to be our youth specialist?" So then I ended up working with them as a youth specialist for like 2 years, and then during that time, I was helping with the social media campaign, and um, we had like different chats. Oh my god, I swear it was like almost 2 to 600 different youth I was talking to on a monthly basis, just as far as social media on Instagram or DM them on Facebook and stuff. And I feel like that kind of got me prepared or used to talking to bigger crowds as well. Um at the Kalahari I got to host. That was pretty cool as well. At the Wisconsin Dells I got to host. And even recently this year, I did 2 workshops with them. This was my first time actually being a workshop facilitator. Oh, second time, sorry. I did it 2 years prior too, but I was with a group. But then this year I got to come as my own business, my own LLC, and actually branch out to other people. So that was super exciting. It was definitely like one of my dream bucket list things to do as a like adult or whatever. So I got to run my whole like programming and made my own workshop and stuff. That was really cool and got to navigate through that. It was super dope. And yeah, I don't know, y'all. It's been a lot. Like I've been doing that, and I've been doing modeling too. One other thing I want to touch on too was my modeling career. I ain't gonna lie, I only been doing it like 2 years. But a lot of it came from my surroundings. Like my god sister Nia, I was helping her. It started off with me helping her in that journey and sisterhood and blossoming. Then I started being a stylist assistant. So like we had shows in Chicago, we had shows in LA, and she's a fashion designer. So I would just like help her with the models, get them dressed and stuff, and get to meet people that way. And I thought it was really cool. Like I love the positivity and the diversiveness of people coming from all over and styles and wardrobe and all of that. And even as a kid, like I said, I was a visual art major. I used to also doodle like different dresses or different styles in my notebook and stuff. But man, that was years ago. Excuse me. And that kind of stemmed from middle school too, because another lady or woman that I really like to honor as one of my mentors. Her name is Darla as well. I got some projects coming up with the Surrey Spring Neighborhood Center as well. That's gonna be as far as like sex education and stuff like that. But I met Miss Darla when I was a young person in middle school, and she used to have this fashion. fashion like class and stuff. She used to help us teach us how to sew, make different garments, understanding like how to do different acrylics on different fabrics and how to cut out stuff. So that kind of opened up a lot of doors for me too because it was like I've been a creative in multiple different forms throughout, but I never like seen or I never had the confidence, I guess, like growing up to actually be the model. I always like kind of assisted the models or like try to draw stuff or make garments or custom stuff. Like I said, I was doing t-shirts and stuff and I was doing a lot of different art forms, a lot of different medias. Um but then recently, like the last year and this year was like the first time I actually was like, okay, now I want to be the model. I got to walk in a fashion show for LA Fashion Week. And then it blossomed from there. That was like my first solo career trip by myself, like without knowing anybody there. I've done multiple other trips by myself, but I knew at least different organizations I was going with, or like people at dorms, or traveling experiences, or co-ops, whatever it may have been. I knew like groups of people at the convening, but like I ain't know nobody in for real. So that was like self growth in that way. But I feel like a lot of times I never let fear like be an obstacle for me. A lot of times people fear what is unknown to them. I feel like I welcome it a lot of times because that's where I grow the most. Like, yes, that's when you're the most vulnerable, but that's like when you shine the most really is when you by yourself and figuring out what you do and don't like in life and what you do and don't like to enjoy. And I don't know. It just changed a lot of stuff and how I seen things, as far as confidence wise and things of that nature. Um And then also another thing that I recently been like trying to get more content as well. Before I started doing these podcasts and stuff, I also was a part of this TV show or whatever. I think it was like a balloon challenge and stuff. That was pretty fun. Just understanding like different love languages and expressing that to other adults. I mean, I didn't meet my boo during that event, but that's totally fine because I'm happier much now. Um, but just understanding, like, I guess adults in our own category. I was also the youngest person on the show too. Apparently, that was a big no, whatever. But I've been grown, of course, and a lot of people tell me like my responses was more mature than others and stuff during that series or YouTube show. But it was really fun just to just be on stage and have that background understanding, and just being able to be involved and actively participate, instead of like being on the sideline watching other people do it, I guess. Um, that was another thing. And yeah, I don't know. It's been so many different like life changing moments. Another thing I wanted to highlight too, was like I had did this. I don't want to say cosplay, but like I had did a local community. It was like a coalition with me and another young photographer. She's an awesome lady. I'll drop her as well. I had did Etta Rose like reestablished or whatever. I cosplayed as her. Um, Also honors to her. I think that was super dope too. I feel like that was the first time I got to like embody someone else's essence and energy and just I don't know. I feel like that was like the blossoming of my modeling career too. As an individual at least. That article just opened up a lot for me and it was just like understanding style and understanding, my body shape and how to do certain poses and stuff like that. And also like networking. Cause really you gotta have when it comes to modeling, you gotta understand that every photographer captures things differently because they're looking for different, I guess, like modes or like moods. and they kind of express their style by how they capture it. Um, and depending on like what theme or whatever you're trying to go for, it changes by like photographer or how it's gonna be delivered. And I feel like that's what I learned most about it experience, and I was really grateful for that too. And oh, to backtrack a little bit, when I was younger too, this was back when I was in high school as well. I was also part of the youth as partner in civic leadership. I'll show you a picture of that too. During that process too, like I did so many workshops understanding like different ways students or like young people can also get involved in civics. Um and I feel like understanding that changed a lot too. Like I don't know how to explain it really because it's a space like y'all should definitely check out, but it was like a private setting. I don't it wasn't that many people. It was maybe like 100, 200 people there. But I got to meet people from all over Wisconsin as well, but most of them came from like suburban areas, I suppose. So I got to meet like people, or I don't know, y'all don't come from me. I say country folk because like some of the young people I met there like actually ran their own farms, like actually have different cows and stuff, like all like for competitions. Hey, don't sleep on them cows. Some of them cows like 40, 75 G's just for one cow. I never in my life knew that. Like until I met them. But just having that connection with people with different lifestyles as well is very important. Because whether it's just on like a camp retreat or whether that's just meeting someone like as a career partner or a partnership, um it's good to understand different lifestyles and understand how people go about different things or how to carry yourself in different aspects. um I honestly just come as myself, but I will say like, excuse me, certain places I talk about certain topics, I guess more about, because I'm also trying to start up my own garden. So for y'all at home, y'all don't know this unless you like really close to me. I started my own LLC as well this year, so that's been like a big change with me. And the journey in itself, I worked with um the Wisconsin Black Chamber of Commerce, which is locally in Milwaukee in Wisconsin. Well, really they're international, but the Milwaukee one is the one that I went to the boot camps with, workshops with, whatever. And the Black Chamber of Commerce, they taught me a lot. Just how to like file your own LLC, understanding like how to categorize what I want to do and whatever. But reason why it matters, or like reason why I brought it up, is because I like plants like ever since a kid. I like nature. I like being in mud. I like bike riding. Like I used to be a tomboy and whatnot. But this year I went to start my own garden, like my own personal garden. And like I went through their grant program and their process as well. So like I haven't received it yet, but potentially I will be receiving like $1,000 for my grant work to like hopefully start up my garden. I'm trying to get an aquaponic system in that, grow like different herbs and stuff to make my own lotions and oils and teas. um so I'm super excited for that. But I never would even thought about taking that urban garden up if I like didn't meet folks from different suburban areas or from 4-H. So it's always good to meet new different people and understanding like even if they have a complete different lifestyle than you, like it's still good to talk to those people. Like we didn't have nothing in common. Like when I tell you I didn't know nothing about nothing they was talking about or the city they didn't came from, and I ain't know nothing about Sheboygan, Wisconsin. I was Oconomowoc, oh, Oconomowoc. See, look, I could barely pronounce it. Oconomowoc, y'all know what I mean. they got like different camps and stuff and retreats and all of that. I always been a camping girl though since I was a Girl Scout, but 4-H is like another Wisconsin agricultural like really huge network, and yeah, a lot of them was a part of it, and even like with State Fair, they have different farm animals that come out and stuff. I got to meet them. It was super dope. Like I love learning, and that's on any aspect, honestly, on anything. So if y'all ever got like a class or something, definitely hit my DM because I like to learn. Another thing I'm looking into is like the library, and I think it's MPL, Milwaukee Public Library. Um, a lot of times they have a lot of resources too. Like I just picked up two of their workshops. Sometimes they have like in-house fellowships too. I didn't know about that or else I would have applied, but I mean it's always another year. But they do free workshops of like business 101, how to market your business, and they even have resources like in the actual library of different Wisconsin or Milwaukee grants you can look into for any LLC. And it don't have to be gardening, like it could be anything. And it's free. Like I never knew none of this. I swear to God. Um so it's always good to like understanding what resources is in your community and how you can like get involved or start up something you want to do that you're passionate about, whether you just want to do it for fun, if you want to do freelancing, whether you want to do your own LLC out of it, whether you want to have a career out of it. I always say like be open to meeting new people and have two ears open, you know, compared to your one mouth. So listen more than you speak. And I speak a lot, so I gotta learn a lot. Okay. But yeah, that's a little bit about me as far as like this year, what I got going on, y'all. Oh, and I'm gonna close out too. I'm selling jeans, y'all. I am an entrepreneur, y'all. I'm also selling lashes as well. I have different stands, different styles and stuff. So I close out with that. And I'm happy that y'all stayed so far and get to know a little bit more about me and what I got going on right now. And that's just what's popping. All right, it's your girl Enomis, and that's Class Consciousness. I'm out. And this has been brought to you by Drop the Mic Media. All right, bye. You can restart it.
No, you can just go.
Oh, okay. Class Consciousness. This air. Okay, Class Consciousness.
It's a blooper.
Class Consciousness.